On most nights, there's nothing more brilliant than the bright lights of New York City, home to the biggest stages in sports and entertainment. But tonight, the spotlight shines brightest across the river in the Garden State to bowling's hallowed grounds, lanes where legends are born. Welcome to Bowlero, North Brunswick. The Australian assassin Jason Belmonte has made the trip, as had our two pros facing off tonight, Stephanie Johnson and Anthony Simonson. Norm Duke is in the Garden State as well. And the two amateurs looking to cash in, Amy Brim and Lucas Leandro. Might they be the next Luis Gonzalez? It'll be Kyle Trube taking on Luis Gonzalez for $270,000. Oh my!
Yes.
Clutch.
Yes, he did.
Clutch Gonzalez.
Get there, baby! Get there! Let's go!
Boom!
Get there!
Unbelievable.
Hey, this is you. Your moment, baby. Go get it.
$270,000 richer. 32-year-old Luis Gonzalez. Welcome to the Bowlero Elite Series. Tonight from North Brunswick, New Jersey, just across the river from the Big Apple. Two pros, two amateurs, all battling for one big paycheck. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Todd Harris alongside NFL Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis and the Australian assassin Jason Belmonte. We were in Chicago. We saw it happen. Can it happen again?
Absolutely, it could happen again. What we saw Luis Gonzalez do, no one thought was possible. But now we know that a pro, he has to be very nervous coming into this format because anything can happen. The amateur can win.
The pressure really is on the pros, Jason.
Look, I think there's two types of pressures. The amateurs are experiencing something for the very first time, so there's that first-time jitters. But the professional is expected to win, and you have that added pressure. And what we know with pressure is it makes crazy things happen. Lewis winning last year, it could happen again.
No first event jitters for this man. Look how he dressed tonight.
I mean, he is ready to go. I wish I'd have got the memo. I would have put a tie on too.
Look very good. Let's give you an idea of what you should be seeing tonight here at the Bowlero Elite Series. It is a fantastic event. Here's how it all plays out. This is the second event. 8 professionals, 8 amateurs. Total prize money over $250,000. The winner taking $100 grand. The runner-up, not a bad payoff there, was $65,000. Well, we've whittled the field down to 2 amateurs, and they have an opportunity tonight for some life-changing money. Before we get to the action, let's meet our 2 amateurs and find out how they got this far.
I think winning those first 2 games, my key thing that I had to work on was my mental game. I needed to, stay calm, to breathe, and just take it one shot at a time to be successful today. And I think that's exactly what I did. In the 5th frame, when I left a washout and I opened, I, in my head, temporarily thought, I was like, it's all over now. But then I regrouped and I just came back and I threw the best that I could, and it worked in my favor in the end.
No joke. That is the first time I've ever tripled in the 10th when I needed it. And I couldn't have come in a bigger spot. That brought me in that second round, let me come out pretty confident, and just really freed my swing up, made things a lot easier. In the match against Josh, I feel like I put the pressure on him really early and kind of rattled him. I think I just was playing the lanes a little smarter, and that's what made me win.
So take a look at the brackets, how they made it this far. Amy Brim, Lucas Leandro, 2 locals here from this area facing off for the opportunity to face off against one of our 2 pros tonight. Speaking of our 2 pros, 2 very good ones, Stephanie Johnson, Anthony Simonson. Let's talk about them first, Jason. They both come from Texas, both looking for a big payout tonight.
Yeah, and both of them have had a lot of success, and especially recent success. Anthony, in particular, winning just on our PBA Tour Summer Tour events. He's in great form. The pins are falling for him. He's confident on the lanes, and you're going to see that tonight. And Stephanie, listen, when you see her throw the ball, there is nothing else other than professional that comes to mind. An extremely solid game, knows what she's doing with her own equipment, with her own releases. It's going to be a very close match. I would not underestimate her.
And Jerome, the pros know they're on guard tonight because it happened in Chicago where an amateur came into their house and beat them.
They have to be very careful in not assuming that they're going to just roll over the amateur. They've got to make sure they're on point, they're taking care of their business, because you never know what happens when you get on these lanes and the pressure starts to mount and mount frame after frame. They better be ready.
All right, let's take a moment and meet our two pros, how they made it this far in the tournament.
It was going to come down to execution, you know, who was going to carry the most, and I was just trying to bowl the lanes, make the best shots that I could, and hope that my score was going to be higher than my opponent's. In both matches, the guys had the option of starting or finishing the match, and they both made me start the match. For me, I needed to make a mark against Jesper, which I struck, and I got a little excited. And then against EJ, I just could get up there and bowl.
Match one, I bowled Sandra Gongora. Struggled through the beginning of the match. I struck once in the first 5 or 6 frames. Was fortunate enough to come away with the win. Then the next match, I was talking to some friends, and 220 that I just bowled is probably not going to win this game against Bill. I snuck out by 1 pin, so I'm just squeaking by, but I'm still here. A win's a win.
And there's the pro bracket, and there you see Anthony Simonson and Stephanie Johnson, both from Texas, making their way through a very talented field to be the final 2 standing. And right now, let's have a moment with our 2 pros.
I actually left school my freshman year of high school. I stayed as a youth bowler for about a year, and I knew that bowling was going to be able to pay the bills.
My first job was cleaning tables at our bowling center. I didn't even get paid for it. I got paid in bowling games. I just knew I wanted to be in bowling.
So at the age of 18, I won my first PWBA title. So I am the youngest major winner, as well as the youngest 2-time major winner.
I am a 5-time gold medal world champion. I do have 3 professional women's titles, 2 regular events, and then 1 major of the Players' Championship last year.
I'm thankful that it's taken me where it has taken me. I get to do what many people don't get to do. I get to do something I love.
I love the camaraderie. It's a lifetime sport. I think that's huge.
Bowling's given me so much. I don't really know where I would be if it wasn't for bowling.
My kids give me so much perspective. As much as I love bowling, if it doesn't go my way, I get to come home to them. They love me no matter what, and I know that they're proud of me.
It's almost time to go bowling in New Jersey. Before we do that, let's send you over to the public address announcer, Mark Frado, for the official introductions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Brunswick, New Jersey. This is the Bowlero Elite Series Pros Semifinal. Let's meet first a 3-time PWBA champion, a 15-time member of Team USA. Please welcome from McKinney, Texas, Stephanie Johnson.
She is the mother of 2, giving a big shout out to Levi and Kenzie, and tonight looking to bring home a big paycheck back to McKinney, Texas.
And now, a 2-time PBA Major Tour champion and the youngest player ever to win a major at 19. From Little Elm, Texas, Anthony Simonson.
Just 22 years of age, a 5-year pro. This should be a great matchup. Simonson and Stephanie Johnson coming up as the pros face off in an opportunity to go to the big final. But coming up here from New Jersey, a big night across the river from the Big Apple. The first responders. We pay tribute to the brave men and women. But coming up next, it will be Anthony Simonson facing off against Stephanie Johnson for the right to take on an amateur for $100,000. There are the brackets. Coming up, it'll be the amateurs, Amy Brim and Lucas Leandro. But first, the pros, Stephanie Johnson and Anthony Simonson for the right to head to the big final. Moments ago, Layla Rahimi caught up with both of them.
Todd, thank you. Anthony, you and Stephanie bowl at the same bowling center in Plano, Texas. So what is it going to be like facing off head-to-head?
It's going to feel like we're bowling at home. No, it's going to be fun. Me and Steph have been friends for a while now. It's going to be a fun, exciting match.
Stephanie, you told me earlier that you appreciate that the women compete against the men in this event, and then after the semifinal, the amateur competes against the pro with $100,000 on the line. What's the experience like, and what do you think of the concept?
The concept is amazing, and the experience has been incredible. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and it's just like Anthony said, it's going to be a really exciting match.
Our two pro semifinalists are ready, guys.
Thank you, Layla. More from you throughout the night. Remember, $100,000 to the winner of the Bowlero Elite Series here in New Jersey. Runner-up taking home $65 grand. And if any of our players bowls a perfect game tonight, they'll be taking home $1 million courtesy of Lagunitas Brewing Company. Life is uncertain. Don't sip. Well, perfect games on TV, they are a rare breed. Jason Belmonte, you've done it before. The added pressure of the TV, the lights, the cameras, how does that all play out?
Yeah, listen, it's a completely different experience. I've been fortunate enough to play and bowl 97 perfect games in my career around the world, but that one on the PBA Tour in particular was the most nerve-wracking.
Anthony Simonson first up, two-handed bowler like Jason, and what a way to start, Buzz.
Wow.
That gets you feeling good, doesn't it?
It does. You always want to get off to a fast start because now it puts pressure on your competitor.
We talked about Anthony's relative youth, just 22 years of age, but he's a 5-year pro.
And it's scary how great he's gotten in that time that he's been on tour. He's always been a very talented player, very raw talent. And now the rough edges have been smoothed off. He's becoming even harder to beat.
So Stephanie Johnson with her first offering, and a nice way to answer back.
It is. It's a great way to answer back. And I think there's an added benefit in that she's bowled against him quite a bit. So now they're comfortable going after each other.
She is the 3-time PWBA champion. Looking for a back-to-back strike here. You know when it leaves your hand, Jason?
You do, and I think on that particular shot, she probably would have been just hoping for that little extra hook down lane. That 5-pin going into the corner pins there, luckily knocking out the 7-pin to give her an early double. But in a 10-frame game, you need to string those strikes, and to get them early is always a good start.
Anthony comes out. Wow. He puts some heat on that ball, doesn't he?
He does, I tell you. And you love the way it's hitting the pocket. I mean, it's with authority. It is so solid.
Now, here's one of the reasons why boys bowling is so difficult. Anthony's using 2 different bowling balls on 2 different lanes. The reason why is even though they're oiled completely identically, the lane has its own properties itself, which has caused Anthony to try 2 different balls.
Oh.
Just a little high there, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ball just wanted to hook a little bit too much down lane. He'll have to make an adjustment off of that, but first make the spare.
So he avoids the empty frame. Jerome, I got to ask you, have you ever tried bowling two-handed?
I have not tried bowling two-handed, but you know what? I might need to get some tips.
I know someone that might be able to help you out.
I might need to get a little help on that. It seems that it has its advantages at times.
Yeah, I only help people who wear ties on television. Sorry, boys.
such a smooth release. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Stephanie perfect through 3.
And I love the fact that she's comfortable bowling against men competitively, because that says something about her mindset.
Well, Stephanie's husband, Chris, is also a professional bowler, so I'm sure there's been plenty of matches at home, husband and wife, so she's very used to the environment of playing against a male professional.
Looking for the ham bone and left one standing.
That's the beauty of bowling. Oh, you can do everything right and still not get a strike. Look,
Just misses.
just missed, man.
Shot, throwing a strike or picking up that one pin when it's just sitting there, that one single.
It always depends in the situation, but in that particular moment, it was a pretty critical spare. It's going to keep her in the lead. No matter what Anthony does, the worst case scenario for Stephanie right now is the scores will be tied.
Back on track. 22-year-old from Little Elm, Texas. 7 career PBA titles, 2 majors, and looking for a big one tonight here in New Jersey.
Yep, one of those majors was against me.
What?
So, thank you, Anthony.
Those are the ones you don't forget. You don't forget the losses.
I didn't think he'd bring it up.
And that's the adjustment right there. That was nothing wrong with that shot in terms of execution. We're talking about now the last shot on that lane was a 4-pin, so he's made the adjustment and the ball's gone a fraction longer than he wanted. 6-pin wraps around the 10-pin. Nothing he could do except make another adjustment.
And the pickup. We've got a good one going here in North Brunswick, New Jersey. Anthony Simonson trying to work himself into a position to face off with one of the top amateurs. But right now, Stephanie Johnson looks to be in control. Back to New Jersey after this. Welcome back to Bowlero, North Brunswick here in New Jersey. The Bowlero Center is number more than 300 locations nationwide, and you're always within striking distance of an epic night out of family fun. From arcades to birthday parties or corporate events to league play. Find a center near you at Bowlero.com. Go to Bowlero.com and book your party online in minutes. Reminder coming up next, the amateurs take center stage. It'll be 2 locals, Amy Brim taking on Lucas Leandro, for the right to face off against either Stephanie Johnson or Anthony Simonson. Back to the action here alongside Jerome Bennis and Jason Belmonte. Todd Harris with you, and right now, guys, Stephanie Johnson looks to be in control, Jason, and very composed.
Yeah, and this is a 1-game match. So whilst she's in control right now, 1 frame later, the entire story can be different. So she needs to put the foot down on the accelerator right now. These 2 shots out of the commercial break are critical for Stephanie for winning this match.
Jerome, break down that form because she's got it on lock, doesn't she?
She's hitting her mark every single time. She's got great rhythm. She's composed. And look at, wow, she's into it. You can tell. She wants this win.
And there you see Max scores right now. Stephanie Johnson go 279. Anthony 259. So to Jason's point, this is an opportunity for her to really take this match over.
And this is the lane she left the 10-pin last time on. She will have to make a minor adjustment to see if she can get that corner pin out. We'll see if she's able to do it. And just like that, momentum swings straight into Anthony's corner. Now, the reason you see the 2-8-10 standing here, a very difficult split, that left lane seems to be hooking far less compared to the right lane. It's one of the reasons why Anthony is using another bowling ball. So Stephanie has to now see that. She's going to have to make these huge adjustments the next time she rolls on that left lane.
So an open frame for her, and just like that, as you said, Jason, the momentum changed. Now the question is, what can Anthony do with it?
Yeah, he's got to take advantage of this opportunity because he may not get another one like this.
Now the bad news for Stephanie is she's going to have to finish the match on her least favorite lane, that left lane, while Anthony gets to finish on his more preferred lane, the right lane. So these next two frames for Anthony, not only will it keep him in the lead, but it'll also keep something running in the back of Stephanie's mind, knowing that I have to perform not just now, but I'm also going to have to finish on the lane that I've left a 10-pin and a split on.
The blood in the water moment.
It is. And if there was ever a moment where he needed that strike, it was right there, and he got it. Now he's got to follow up on it. Yes, he does. Found a way to get that mark on that difficult left lane.
Yeah, there was a moment there where Anthony wasn't sure what was going to happen. It went far longer down the lane before it started to make that turn back towards the pocket. But with that two-handed technique, the extra revolutions he's able to put on the bowling ball, he's able to hook back, mix the pins up and get the strike. This is a huge 2 frames for Stephanie right now. You do not want to fall any further behind Anthony with only a few frames left to go in the match.
And she rises to the occasion.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, that lane dialed in.
Yeah, she's got that figured out, doesn't she?
Oh, the pins have no chance. Literally get pushed to the back of the pit. Knows exactly how she sees the ball going down the lane and, more importantly, the way it's going through the pins. But here it is, the left lane, the one that has caused her the most issues. She's going to throw 2 more shots on this lane. So right now, not only is it important to strike, but it's also important that she feels confident. If she's able to throw a good shot and strike, knowing that I'm coming back to this lane on the 10th frame, I must have confidence coming in.
And Stephanie Johnson unable to exercise a few demons on that side.
And what a gutsy move. Changed bowling balls in such a critical moment of the match. She could have elected to move her feet, slow her speed with the ball she used originally, but no, she took the gamble, executed perfectly, and the pin we all hate most, standing there, really now going to make it difficult for Stephanie to win this match.
She she does. It's a great pickup, but every amateur knows what she feels like in that moment. To get tapped, you're like, no. Whenever you put it right in the pocket and you don't get the result that you want, it's just a demoralizing feeling. It really is.
Right now, Anthony, 2 strikes, will set himself up to need just a spare in the 10th frame to win this tournament. If Stephanie is to strike.
He seems like a different bowler the last 3 frames. The confidence and the way he's throwing that ball.
It's amazing what happens when your opponent opens a frame, how that looseness comes over you and realizing, hey, now I'm in control of this match. Anthony's the type of player that is all about confidence. He loves the feeling of the ball in his hand, his destiny in his hands, and right now a strike here to put him one step closer.
Oh, when he gets it to fall.
And there's something to be said about momentum. We actually saw the momentum shift.
Oh, yeah.
And now Anthony's taking control of this match.
Look at that. Not much difference between him and Stephanie on that, but he got the action to get that pin to drop.
Well, and that's what happens when you have that little extra power. You know, the pins are able to knock over that last pin. Stephanie unable to do that. However, it is not over. Stephanie will need all strikes from here to force Anthony to spare in the final frame.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
No quit. There's no quit in her.
This is it. The dreaded left lane, as you can see, perfect on the right lane. She would probably pay $100,000 right now to spend the 10th frame on this last on the right lane, but she's made the ball change. She left the ringing 10 the last time, so there will be another minor adjustment with that new bowling ball. Is it going to be enough to force Anthony to step up and make a mark in the 10th frame?
Good shot.
And this time, she comes away clean.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic execution there. To change a bowling ball, the reason why she changed that bowling ball is she wanted to see it hook differently from the previous ball that she was using. So there's a gamble in that. But once you take that gamble, it means nothing if you're not executing. And Stephanie right there just showed us why. She's a champion on the ladies tour.
She did what she had to do.
And she figured out that left lane.
Yeah. She's still shaking her head, thinking about 3 frames ago.
Yeah, you just hate that, you know, she's saying to herself, maybe it's just a little too late.
But the one thing she's done, boys, is she's forced Anthony to show up, at least get a spare to progress through. Anthony in the second round did the exact same thing to his opponent, Bill O'Neill. Bill O'Neill needed a spare to win. Bill was unable to achieve the spare to lose by 1. Now Anthony's in the same situation as his opponent was in the second round.
She had on that left lane, she certainly figured him out.
She did.
What a great showing by Stephanie Johnson out of McKinney, Texas. Now, all pressure, all eyes on Anthony Simonson. Does he have the goods to deliver?
He has the advantage of being in that right lane, the lane he's so much more comfortable in.
There it is.
Taking the mystery out.
The best way to mark is knocking them all over in one shot. Anthony felt probably like he got away with one there. He missed a little bit on the inside of target. However, today's bowling oil pattern is of an amateur level. We are playing on a standard house shot. You have a little extra room there, and he was very grateful for it.
I think that's why the other one.
Already had enough pins. 258, 227. Anthony Simonson is moving on to the big final. Congratulations to Stephanie Johnson on a tremendous performance tonight here in New Jersey. So what that means is Anthony Simonson has guaranteed himself, guys, at least $65,000. Take a look at the bracket. Anthony Simonson has made his way in. He will now await the winner of the amateur semifinal between two locals, Amy Brim taking on Lucas Leandro, and they will battle out for the big check of $100,000 to the winner tonight here in the Garden State. Let's set it down to Layla, who's standing by with Anthony.
Anthony, you decided to make an adjustment early on, using a different ball. Then you get the advantage with the momentum and use that right lane. What was the decision behind the ball? And tell me how the right lane was playing versus the left.
To me, the left lane seems like it's just hooking a little bit earlier and makes it play just a pinch tighter down the lane. I kind of think that's what Stephanie was seeing. Yeah, she's kind of stuck in between balls, which is why I had her finish on that lane. I'd rather finish on my good lane, and it's a good call on that decision.
So the last time a pro faced an amateur here at the Bowlero Elite Series, we know an amateur came away with that big prize. How do you want to take it back for the pros?
I'm just going to go out, bowl a good game, and we'll see what happens from there.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Todd?
So Anthony Simonson is moving on to the final and an opportunity to walk away with $100,000 tonight. But if you remember the last time we were in Chicago, it was an amateur that took away the big check. When we come back to New Jersey, we'll pay homage to our first responders here on NBC. As the nation remembers the attacks on 9/11, tonight we're paying tribute to the many first responders across the country who put their lives on the line every day. So we've invited some very brave men and women to the lanes for some friendly competition with some helpful coaching from legendary bowler Johnny Petraglia.
Okay, hi first responders. I'm Johnny Petraglia here, and I'm going to give you just a quick little clinic so that for those of you that haven't bowled much or at all, and what you should think about.
Each team facing off for their respective charities. Tuesday's Children provides lifetime support for those whose lives have been forever changed by terrorism and traumatic loss. And Voices of 9/11 provides long-term support services and access to mental health care for thousands of 9/11 victims, families, responders, and survivors. In the end, it was Tuesday's Children who had the edge, earning bragging rights plus a $5,000 donation from Bowlero Corp, as well as a $1,000 donation for our runners-up. Coming up next, the amateurs take to the spotlight. Will it be Amy Brim or Lucas Leandro walking away with the opportunity to face off against Anthony Simonson? Sunday night, it's another epic showdown between the Eagles and Falcons, and all eyes will be on quarterbacks Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan. Football night from Atlanta starts at 7 Eastern, only on NBC. Back here in New Jersey, and Jerome Bettis is still smarting after what the Patriots did to your Steelers. My friend, what happened to the black and gold?
It was a total dismantling of that Steelers defense. Obviously, everybody thought that the defense would be much improved. Yeah. I think Tom Brady showed that there's a lot of work to be done in Pittsburgh on both sides of the football.
I watched some Sunday football with your friend to the left, Jason Belmonte. We talked a lot about it. You were impressed by what you saw on Sunday, especially the comeback by the Eagles over the Redskins.
Absolutely. One of our players this week, Bill O'Neill, is a big Eagles fan. So throughout our travels on tour, he has taught me a little bit. However, when those yellow flags go flying onto the field, I have absolutely no reason why. And I'm usually asking Bill hey, what's the flag for? And it's a crazy game you guys are playing.
I'm always asking the same question. What's the flag for?
What's the flag for? Let's turn our attention to our amateurs tonight. It's going to be Amy Brim taking on Lucas Leandro, both of them locals and bus. Let's talk about this. Is a huge opportunity.
I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, usually you don't get these type of opportunities. You're an amateur, you're playing for $100,000, and it's home field advantage for these guys. They're comfortable in this house because they've bowled here before. So this is a great opportunity for them.
If you were coaching either of these bowlers tonight, what would you tell them?
The first thing is take a look around, enjoy it. You are in an environment that not very many people get an opportunity to do. One of the huge benefits about this match right now is whoever wins this match will have one game of television experience under their belt. Now that may not seem a lot, but that is a huge difference from having 0. So when they come into that match against a professional, having that one game experience, understanding the crowd, the timing, the way everything is working, could be a huge factor in their performance into the title match.
All right, it's going to be Lucas Leandro taking on Amy Brim. Amy Brim, what a great story she is, proving that it's not where you start, it is where you finish in the game of life.
I was born prematurely. I was born 7.5 weeks early. I actually didn't walk till I was almost 2, and I didn't talk till I was almost 3. And then at 12 years old, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. I was put into a back brace for 2.5 years. So that kind of delayed my path to bowling, but I just wanted to keep working. I just love the game so much. I think my biggest strength is the fact that I don't ever want to give up. It would mean absolutely everything to me to win. It's just showing me and it's showing other people that regardless of the obstacles that you have in your life, you can overcome them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here in North Brunswick, New Jersey. This is the Bowlero Elite Series League Bowler Semifinals. Please welcome first a middle school history teacher from Fort Hamilton, New Jersey, Amy Bream.
Amy told me the special assignment for her students was they had to watch tonight's match and cheer her on. And Lucas Leandro from right here in Sayreville, New Jersey, works the pro shop at these lanes, and he is looking for a big night tonight in the Garden State.
I got a bowling ball for my 15th birthday, and then that's when I say I really started, because with a brand new bowling ball, I felt like I was the man. I never looked back. It's been bowling ever since. I'm the general manager of the pro shop here. I get to watch people bowl, I get to help people out. To me, it's not work. It's just fun to me. I just like to have fun all the time, like to make people laugh. Never thought that I would have the opportunity to make TV in my home house, let alone actually do it. This is surreal to me. This is crazy. To win $100,000 would be probably the biggest thing I'll ever do in my life. I would probably freak out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet a bowler who works and bowls out of here, Bowlero, North Brunswick. From Sayreville, New Jersey, Lucas Leandro.
And if either of them have a home lane advantage, it's got to be Lucas Bus. He won a state high school championship on these very same lanes.
I'm gravitating to him because it feels as like this is his Super Bowl, right? In his hometown, his home lanes, the same with me. My Super Bowl was in my hometown. I know what it feels like.
What would it mean to win $100,000? Will one of these two bowlers be the next Luis Gonzalez?
This opportunity means everything to me right now.
The first Bowlero Elite Series show I thought it was crazy, because to see Luis go out there for that much money and for him to have that much poise up there, that was awesome.
It really just gives hope for everyone.
If I win this tournament, I don't think I'll be going professional. Spend my money wisely, save some of it.
I would love to take a nice vacation.
I just really like where I'm at right now. I love running the pro shop. I like helping people out.
Proving to myself that I can do this is my ultimate goal.
Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez trying to keep the pressure on, and he does.
He's feeling it.
$270,000 richer. Luis Gonzalez. Payout tonight here in New Jersey, $100,000 to the winner. The runner-up will take home a very cool $65 grand. Right now, let's check in with Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thanks. I'm here with Amy and Lucas. Amy, this is your home house. You bowl here. You coached here. You know Lucas well. How much of that, if any, goes into your thought process when you know that a pro and $100,000 are on the other side?
I think it's just a great experience overall, and I'm really excited to see what the next 10 frames have in store.
Lucas, you know Amy well. Your high school team has competed against teams that she's coached. What is it like going head-to-head at this house in this environment, a little bit dressed up tonight?
Well, I'm just going to take it like frame by frame, worry about the shot that's in front of me, and just bowl my game.
I hear the crowd. I will wait to ask whose house it is until after this is over. Good luck, guys. Thanks. Todd?
I want to remind you, if any of our players bowls a perfect game tonight, they'll be taking home $1 million, courtesy of Lagunitas Brewing Company. Life's uncertain. Don't sip. Speaking of that perfect game, Jerome Bettis has checked in with one perfect game. Jason Belmonte, 97. So between the three of us, that's 98 perfect games. That's a pretty good average.
You know what? But I want to ask him how many touchdowns. I got 91. I got 91.
Yeah, he's got me there. I got 0 touchdowns.
I think we're close.
All right, we are set to go bowling. These are the amateurs now. Amy Brim, Lucas Leandro, both, this is their home lanes. As we mentioned before, Lucas Leandro winning state titles here in high school on these very same lanes, guys, lanes 7 and 8.
Now, round one, first shot of Lucas's Bowlero Elite Series career was a train wreck. Very nervous, couldn't let go of the ball, and it took him a long time to settle down. We'll see how his first few frames are on television. It's a pretty good shot out of the gate.
It was a really good shot.
That's going to give him a lot more confidence coming into the second and third, and well, I guess for the rest of the game. That first frame off his hand, hitting the pocket, leaving that flat 10. So he's going to have to get the ball to drive to the pins a little harder, change his angle slightly, but before he even starts thinking about any adjustments, we've got to make the spare.
And again, it's that left lane that's creating a little uncertainty.
Oh, it's going to be like that for the entire series.
Lucas just picks up the spare.
Actually, Todd, the rules of bowling, if the ball enters the gutter at all, even if it bounces out, it is counted as 0. So we will have to make a score correction. I think we should just change the rules right now and let Lucas have that.
So an open frame.
It is an open frame early on.
And as an amateur, that is a nightmare. That you just don't want to hit that 10 pin.
So the junior high history teacher with an opportunity here. If she can pick up this spare.
A little high, leaving what is affectionately known in the bowling community as the baby split. There are a couple of ways to make this. The textbook way is she's going to go to the right of the 3 pin. The ball will take care of the 3 and the 10. And if she misses it to the left side of the 3 pin, she has a chance for the pin to actually ricochet into the 10 pin.
And just like Jason Belmonte drew it up.
Absolutely perfect textbook execution. The ball hitting the right side of the 3 pin, deflecting into the 10. That's how we on tour like to make it. And that's exactly what she needed to do. That spare will also put her already in front of Lucas early in the match.
And it takes some pressure off of her. You know, that first row, it's a lot of pressure on you.
We'll see how she handles the harder of the 2 lanes.
And leaves one standing again. Jerome, that's like coming around the corner and seeing, what, Ed Reed waiting for you?
Well, for me, that wasn't a big issue. It was Ray Lewis.
You had no problem with that.
Yeah, Ed, I like to see Ed. Ray was a different issue altogether.
Again, Amy able to clean it up and pick up the spare.
But when you're watching amateurs, the one difference is looking at the spare. The spare is not as confident as the pros.
And there you see the pertinent information on Lucas Leandro. Youngest competitor left in the field at 21, and again, there's that Ray Lewis there greeting you.
You know, he's trying to compose himself. I think that was a little high.
Little high. That shot certainly made a lot harder direction at the end of the pattern. Made its curve very angular. It's good to see that as a player, though. It gives you a little bit of trust, knowing if I do give it a little room, I have confidence it's going to hook back. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, we're playing on a regular house condition. It is a lot easier than the tour condition.
And this time he does pick up the spare.
Yeah, and that'll settle him down a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the great things when you talk to Lucas is he's a very confident young man, and he needs to start feeling that confidence. You know, I love talking to him when we were in the green room, asking about hair and makeup, and he basically said, no, I'm good, thanks. Hair's on point. I'm looking perfect. And that's the kind of person he is, so we need to see that confident player on the lanes. So we're going to see another ball change. He's changed to a more aggressive bowling ball.
Boy, and you saw that at the very end, really high.
Yeah. Now, guys, I have a little bit of a biased opinion here. That ball that Lucas just threw actually was designed in collaboration with my sponsor Storm that has my logo on the ball. So I'm hoping it works really well for Lucas.
Or he can blame you.
If he gets an open frame here, you know he's coming after.
Absolutely. He's going to come back and tell me that ProMotion bowling ball is no good, Belmo.
Belmonte ball's worthless. Not this time, though.
That a boy, Lucas. Make that ball look good.
This commercial brought to you by Jason Belmonte.
And both of these bowlers, they have to deal with this being a home field scenario.
Yep.
They know everybody in the crowd. They're high-fiving everybody. That changes the dynamic when you get ready to bowl.
When you were playing for the Steelers, aren't home games the hardest? Everyone wants tickets.
They are.
Amy Brim now looking for something big and gets it.
Shot. Now you see the nerves start to settle in.
Yep, that ball went straight over the target she was looking at, a much more direct line towards the pocket, and that's her A game. Not curving the ball too much, keeping it on line with the pocket and allowing for that slight curve at the end to go through the pins just like that. This left lane, though, playing a little bit straighter down lane. She's going to have to make an adjustment. Can she make it?
Nope. You can see it just slid right through.
And that's the biggest difference that I see between an amateur player, for the most part, and professionals. Obviously, anybody can bowl, but what the professionals are able to do, see the lane adjustments immediately. We saw Stephanie. She had one execution where she left a 10 pin, and then she struck out after making the adjustment. And that's the biggest difference, is not only knowing what move to make, but then the execution of that move.
Yeah, she doesn't get rattled, though. Nice way to clean up.
No.
I love that. There's a little high five there between the two players. Respect, game understands and knows game.
Good pin action there for Amy Brim.
Lucas's boys in the background pumping him up a little bit. I asked him if he liked that, if he liked his boys yelling from the back, and he said, you know what, I like it both ways. I like it when my friends yell. I also like it when they just are quiet. So we're about to find out if it helps.
That is not the baby split.
No, the big four, one of the most difficult splits in bowling. There's really only two ways to do this. You can slide either the 4 or the 6 pin across into the other 2 pins, or you can bounce it out. I would say the odds of Lucas making this right now would probably be more than 100 to 1.
So he kind of plays it safe there and goes right at it with that Belmonte ball. But again, an open frame.
Well, let me just say the first shot that he threw was not with my ball, okay? He's only using my ball on the other lane, okay? Here
nice
it is
qualifier.
right now.
Here you see the max scores right now with Amy Brim in control, but we saw this, guys, in the last match between Stephanie Johnson, and she had the max score.
He's gone back to his original bowling ball. I hate to say it, but I actually think he's made the wrong move here. Personally, I think he needed to use that other bowling ball, but actually play the line that he's playing with right now.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Needed to move further right with the more aggressive bowling ball, but now he's gone back to his original play. The ball just doesn't have the engine in the back to make the corner. It's not over, but he's certainly making himself very, very hard to get back from here.
Get those multiple open frames and you're kind of digging yourself a hole, aren't you?
It really is. And it seems as though he's kind of overcorrecting a little bit on that right lane. He kind of slowed down a little bit and it broke a little harder, and then he changed again on the left lane.
Listen, and let's not take away the environment. This is not easy. This is Lucas's first time in this environment. Of course, these errors are going to happen if you're inexperienced. Where Amy's game is so much straighter.
There you go.
Yeah. All she needs to do is make smaller, more finite adjustments because her game is simpler.
How many bowling balls do you usually bring to a tournament?
On tour, we will travel with anywhere between 12 and 20, depending on where we're going. Basically, the way that we like to describe bowling balls to the non-bowler is they're similar to golf clubs. They are all designed differently. You would never go to a golf tournament with just one club. Same with bowling. You would never turn up with just one bowling ball.
She is the coach for East Brunswick High School women's bowling team. And awesome junior high history teacher. She gave me a little quiz before we came out here. Actually, I got 2 out of 3, but it was tough.
So now both bowlers have left this 2-10 split. Certainly more on the easier side of conversion percentages. Probably on tour, we're around about the 1 in 4. But for an amateur, much higher odds.
So Amy has her first open frame. But she's in control of this one, looking for an opportunity to make it into the big final against Anthony Simonson, the pro who awaits. The winner will be leaving tonight with $100,000. You're watching the Bowlero Elite Series.
To be successful in this sport, you have to have patience.
Driven and composed.
You have to be persistent and have a love to the sport.
You need to work hard and never give up.
You have to have a great support system like my family does for me.
You need to be confident.
To sacrifice.
I got to this point by practicing and being in the gym every single day, working to be the best athlete that I could be.
To be successful in this sport, you need to be
bold.
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 Be bold.
Take a look at the tournament bracket. Anthony Simonson, the pro, is already through. He will face off with either Amy Brim or Lucas Leandro. For your chance to bowl against the pros for big bucks, you must be a Bowlero League bowler. So sign up for a league at Bowlero.com at one of the 300+ AMF Bowlero and Bullmore centers for your chance to win big at our December show. And that December show will be on NBC at 3 p.m. on December 28th. The VIPs in the crowd. Of course, Coley Edison, the president of the Bowlero Elite Series, taking in the action tonight here in New Jersey.
Lucas not wasting any time.
Yeah.
Straight into it. That is actually his third ball change. Looking for a different ball reaction to give himself some of that confidence.
Good action on that one, so he picks up the spare, and now he's in catch-up mode. Thus, you've been in positions like this before where you don't want to press, but there is a sense of urgency.
There is a sense of urgency because time is starting to run out. You've got to find a way to put pressure on your opponent. And the only way that happens is if you start putting strikes on the board. You got to get it going.
This does have a little bit of a feel of his first round match behind the entire game.
Yep.
Needing 3 strikes in the 10th frame to win and was able to pull it off then.
He's got to start stringing some things together.
He still hasn't figured out the mystery of that left lane.
There is certainly a skill to being able to manage your time. You on the football field, Bus, you were able to seem to have an eternity when you had the ball, and the pros seem to never feel rushed. But here we're looking at an amateur. He feels rushed. He looks rushed. He has to find a way to calm himself down, utilize his time better, and have more time for himself. Right now, Amy can really make this difficult for Lucas. 2 of the best shots of her life right now, and she could very well have punched her ticket into the title match. Her last shot on this lane, perfect strike.
Does it again.
Absolutely.
So Amy Brim applying the pressure to Lucas Leandro.
Perfectly executed. She got the result she wanted.
It's about as emotional as you'll see her. Whether she's missing or she's striking out, she's right down the middle.
But she has a chance to really take a stranglehold on this match.
Now Amy, just like Lucas, has decided to ball change. She hasn't liked her reaction on that lane. Trying something here. Will it pay off? That's a pretty gutsy move.
Yeah.
You're leading. You really don't want to try anything too crazy, but here she is, ball changing. And that 7-pin nearly getting tripped over by the 4-pin, but still standing at her waving. So must spare here, must spare. Keep that advantage, keep the momentum, and keep the pressure on Lucas with the spare right now.
It's amazing how small that pin looks when it's the only one way in there.
Absolutely. Great pickup in this time of the match. She can't have any mistakes. No one can have a mistake right here. If Lucas, if he wants any chance to win, he's got to find a way to put some strikes on the board.
Lay off, lay off.
He knew right away, didn't he?
Oh my God, Lucas, grab it more.
Grab it more. That means at the very bottom of the swing, instead of letting the ball just come off his hand, nice and relaxed and fluid, grabs it at the bottom, trying to make it hook, and there he goes. Miss of target, inside, left of target, the ball overhooks, leaving the 3-6-9-10.
Able to pick it up though.
Unfortunately, he's running out of time.
Yeah.
This is it, the 9th frame, the foundation frame. I hate to be the one to tell him this, but this is the time right now. If you're going to make it through, it's this shot right now. Make Amy think that you have potential to strike out for your 175.
Hey, position was perfect. It's going to be too little too late, though. That's the question.
Well, Amy will be able to determine that on this shot right now. If she throws it like her last two on this lane,
Mom.
it'll be game over. But an open frame here, we are going to have a barn burner in the 10th.
Inside. That was close.
9 spare is okay.
Oh,
9 spare is okay.
That was a reprieve.
She got some late action there
Yeah.
that really helped her cause.
And high on that head pin. It could have been a disaster.
Okay, here we go. 10th frame. Amy needs a spare to win. Anything else?
And the door's wide open.
Lucas has an opportunity to step right up.
And remember, we are on the left lane, which has been a problem for all of our bowlers tonight.
Not just the amateurs.
All of our bowlers tonight.
This is it. This is a potential $100,000 spare or strike.
She wants to make it interesting.
If she misses this, Lucas can strike out and beat her by 1. It must be made.
This is a difficult.
Biggest spare of her life.
Listen, you
For
thought
the
the 7-pin
situation.
looked tiny to her before. This 4-pin is looking about the same size as a thumbtack.
Think about it, guys. This is for 65 grand.
And that is exactly what we've been talking about. The pressure of the moment, it's there. It's
This is
real.
history repeating itself.
Oh my.
Lucas,
Look at that.
round 1, the exact same position. Managed to get 3 strikes to win that match, and here he is right now, needing 3 strikes.
That's why we're here.
Exactly 3 strikes. 2 strikes and 9. We have a tie. Anything other than that, Lucas will lose. This is it.
He didn't get it out there.
So let me just correct your math. He is done. A spare here is not going to get it done.
It is not. He needed all 3 strikes in the 10th frame to beat her. Now the spare doesn't matter. He's just gone up there and thrown it.
Wow.
So despite Amy Brim opening the door and it looked like Lucas had the opportunity to walk through, she will live to fight another day, and she has assured herself at least $65,000. Guys, she went from missing that spare to thinking it was over to what a sigh of relief. So it'll be Amy Brim from right here in Brunswick, New Jersey, taking on the pro Anthony Simonson from Texas with $100,000 on the line against $65,000 to the runner-up. But what a payout for both bowlers. As we sit it down to Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thanks. Amy, you told me mid-match you did have some nerves. This goes down to the final frame. I saw you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Just trust yourself and trust your shot. And, you know, I felt a little short at the end as far as my last shot, but all along the way it paid off.
I know this must be emotional for you. As you gather yourself, what goes through your mind?
I've always had 3 goals for myself in my bowling career: shoot a 300, shoot an 800, and win a tournament. So here's my shot.
It is indeed one step next. Congratulations, Amy. We look forward to talking to you before the final.
Thank you.
So the final is now set. It will be the junior high history teacher from Hamilton, New Jersey, and she will be taking on none other than Anthony Simonson for the opportunity of cashing in on a $100,000 payout tonight here in North Brunswick. This is the Bowlero Elite Series on NBC.
It said behemoth burger. I didn't know it was that big.
So we have the Mega Coney dog, and we have a pizza kit.
They don't call me the bus because I was scared to eat. Oh!
The Bowlero Centers number more than 300 locations nationwide, and you're always within striking distance of an epic night out of family fun. From arcades to birthday parties or corporate events to league play. Find a center near you at Bowlero.com. Go to Bowlero.com and book your party online in minutes. All right, guys, let's talk about the final event of the night. It's the amateur versus the pro. Amy Brim showed a lot of poise, Buzz. She's worked her way through the field, and now here she is on the precipice of a possible payday of $100,000. What's your advice to her?
As a junior high school student, teacher, she has to know that history is on her side and that she has a chance of winning. We saw Luis Gonzalez do it, so she knows that it can be done. Now, it's a huge uphill battle to know that she can get it done, but there is the possibility. She has one game under her belt, so let's see if she can make something happen. She can make history.
That's some NFL Hall of Fame advice. So on the Bowling Hall of Fame advice, which you'll be in the Hall of Fame, we all know that. What are you telling Anthony Simonson that he does not become the next pro that gets dropped by an amateur?
Look, I think the very first thing that he needs to do is never underestimate your opponent. Even though Amy bowls in a much more conventional style, less power on the lanes, certainly not nearly as repetitious as Anthony, we have 10 frames. Anything can happen in those 10 frames. Never underestimate your opponent. Get out there and throw your best 10 shots.
All right, we are just about set to go. Coming up next, it's the final match of the night. Amateur versus pro. Amy Brim taking on Anthony Simonson when we return to New Jersey. The Bowlero Elite Series is fueled by Lagunitas Brewing Company's IPA and the $1 million Perfect Game Challenge. Reminder, it's Fight Night in Las Vegas, NASCAR style. The NASCAR playoffs get underway as 16 title contenders look to take their first step to a championship. That's Sunday night at 7 Eastern, only on NBCSN. A lot of great bowlers in the stands taking in the action. Norm Duke was eliminated from the tournament by E.J. Tackett earlier today, and they will stick around and see who walks away with the $100,000 payout. Right now, we send it over to Layla Rahimi.
Amy, as you get ready for this final, what have you learned about yourself as a bowler so far?
I really think that I learned that I should just never give up on myself, just like I teach my students, you know, take it shot by shot, take it day by day, and the hard work will pay off.
The last time we had this event, an amateur took home the prize. Do you think about that, knowing that $100,000 could be yours?
You know, that's a really great thing, but this is more of a confidence builder for me and letting myself know that I can do this and I can be successful and just overcoming everything that I have in my life. You know, that this is my true goal right now.
And just like you said, trust yourself. Amy, good luck in the final. And once again, Mark Frado.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues from North Brunswick, New Jersey. It's the Bowlero Elite Series Championship. And now, for $100,000, ladies and gentlemen, it's go time! Introducing first, the middle school teacher from Hamilton, New Jersey, high school bowling coach who put up a 174, Amy Brown.
She has already secured at least $65,000 as the runner-up. Will it be $100,000? Let's send it over to Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thanks. So as you get ready for this championship, you're representing the pros, and the last time, Luis Gonzalez, the amateur, took the championship. So how much pressure is there as a professional to take that back and win this $100,000 prize?
You know, I'm not looking at it really as any pressure. I try to keep bowling as simple as possible. So for me, it's just another opponent on the lanes. I'm going to go out and make 10 good shots and go from there.
What did you learn mid-match and after the first one that will help you for this final?
I'm seeing the lanes, the left lane, the right lane being a little bit different. So I figured that out in the first match. I think that'll help me attack the lanes in the second match.
Thank you. Good luck. And now it's time to hear from Mark Frado.
And once again, the two-time PBA Major Tour champion. He rolls to the finals with a 258. The youngest player ever to win a major from Little Elm, Texas, Anthony Simonson.
The brackets are complete. The talking is all done. When we come back to New Jersey, it is time to bowl for $100,000. Will it be the amateur or will it be the pro? Amy Brim taking on Anthony Simonson when we return here on NBC Sports. Jason Belmonte knows a thing or two about coming to Jersey and getting a win, not once, but twice. JB got it done here at Bowlero, North Brunswick. So we are set to go, and there you see it. Jason Belmonte, you have won here twice. These lanes are special to you. What makes Jersey bowling so important?
Listen, it's the bowlers that live here. In all of the travels around the world, there are no better supporters of bowling than those here in Jersey. Winning in this building with as much history has been on these lanes was an extremely emotional time for me. And right now, we're about to see two more people have a chance to create further history on these lanes.
Simonson will start things off in late action. Gets the strike. Big smile on Buzz's face on that.
Absolutely. That's what you want going into the final match. You want to get off to a fast start, put pressure on your opponent early.
That, in the biz, we call a messenger. Anthony off to a good start with that pin coming off the sidewall and taking out the 10-pin late. It also puts a lot of early pressure on Amy. There's no open doors, frame one. Anthony's still making sure she's aware of the fact that, hey, I am not going to make this easy.
Unable to answer back, so she leaves two standing. Worth noting that the runner-up here still guaranteed $65,000.
Again, we're high in the pocket. You know, sometimes the nerves early on in the match. I mean, this is a huge match. Obviously, she's looking next to her and seeing a pro. It's a little different when you see a pro next to you.
She'll be in class tomorrow morning to see how many of her students watch this program to see their teacher bowl for potential $100 grand.
Yeah, I wonder how many of her students are going to ask, hey, miss, can you buy me lunch today? I heard you came into some money recently.
Some of our students in the stands tonight here at North Brunswick. The strike on that left lane.
And that was Amy sending a message back to Anthony saying, hey, you're going to be in a dogfight. It's not going to be
So the junior high teacher getting it done. For more on that, let's check in with Layla.
Yeah, guys, you were watching Mackenzie Keene cheer for Amy Brim. She is one of her sophomore students that she coaches, and she told me that Amy's always watching and supporting me, and she's always in my corner, so it's her time to do this for her coach.
Just a great story, and that's just a great shot. Anthony Simonson coming right back. Man, the power he generates on that throw is... Pins have no chance.
So in both of those matches, Anthony by the skin of his teeth, survived through. In the first match against Sandra, she had an opportunity late in the game. A stubborn pin stood, and Anthony was able to strike out to win that match. And then, of course, the one-pin match against Bill O'Neill.
Bill O'Neill. So Bill O'Neill's thinking one pin away from possibly him being here bowling for the 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's in the crowd today watching. I think you don't necessarily want to look at it like that because it'll just make you want to, vomit. But, right now, you can't change the past.
Yeah.
He'll learn from it, much like Anthony is right now. I think he's seen from his experience in the last successful few months that he's had on tour, he's bringing that to the game right now. Well, her favorite lane is no longer her favorite lane. 2 misses on that lane. She really needed to keep up with him early. Letting Anthony get away is going to be really hard to reel in later in the match.
Is the difference really the power that she throws the ball compared to him, or is it the placement?
It's a bit of both. I mean, as an amateur player, the repetition of her form isn't at the standard of a professional player. Not to mention, the technique that Anthony brings to the game is much more powerful. So even if he does get to the pocket, his strike percentage is going to be a lot higher. And you saw that in the very first frame with that messenger ping coming off the side wall. But she's doing her best right now. She's spare, strike, spare. That's, if you had told her at the beginning of this, title match, I'm going to give you spare, strike, spare to start it off, how are you feeling about that? She probably would have taken it.
And just look at that. Man, still moving.
But a much better shot on the left lanes. It's responding to her ball a lot better on the left side than it is on the right side.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, one of those at least is going to drop, if not both.
And sometimes you can get one of them to fall over to the other one. This time she's not going to get that lucky.
No, those pins reminded me of a defensive player trying to tackle you and getting back up afterwards. Finding it hard to get their feet. Tough break for Amy.
Yes.
Pocket 5-7. I mean, that's in the business, that's a bad break. It could have been a strike. It could have at least been 9.
Spare she could have picked up.
But to leave them both is a crushing blow early in the game. And with Anthony with the front 3, now on his more favored right lane, I have a feeling we're going to see 4 in a row right here.
Time for a handball and the announcer jinx.
Absolutely.
Doing my bit for you, Amy. Doing everything. I'm pulling out all stops here. Yeah, well, here you go. One more, Amy. This is a very easy spare, boys. Shouldn't have any issues sparing this at all.
Especially if he pulls out that Belmonte ball. There you go.
There might be a sale on one.
There you go. Out in the parking lot afterwards, you can pick those up for cheap.
Right there. It's right in the pro shop. It's available.
Lucas has drawn the devil's horns on my logo.
It's available.
So here we go. I mean, he's ahead by quite a lot after 4 frames. A strike right here, and it may be impossible to come back.
Wow, re-balling like that.
Absolutely.
And here you are. You're taking one of the most informed players on the tour, showing us what he's capable of bowling.
Anthony Simonson in control of the championship match right now against amateur Amy Brim. But can she come back? We'll find out when we return. This is the Bowlero Elite Series.
Competing in the Bowlero Elite Series completely changed my life. No one thought a regular bowler like me can compete against a pro and win $270,000. But I did. Visit BowleroEliteSeries.com and apply now for your chance to compete.
For For your chance to bowl against the pros for big bucks, you must be a Bowlero League bowler. So sign up for a league at Bowlero.com at one of the 300-plus AMF, Bowlero, and Bowlmore centers for your chance to win big at our December show. And that December show will be on NBC at 3 p.m. on December 28th. And this telecast and its contents are owned and copyrighted by Bowlero Corp. And is broadcast for the exclusive private use of our audience. Any other reproduction, retransmission, or use is prohibited. Bowlero and its affiliated marks are exclusively owned by Bowlero. All right, this is crunch time. Jason Belmonte, if you're coaching Amy Brim right now, what would you be whispering in her ear?
You need to be focusing on the process, one shot at a time. Make this your best shot. And then you need to repeat the process from here on in. You need to forget about the score. You need to forget about who you're competing against. You need to forget about the environment that you're in. The only thing that she needs to be thinking about right now, I have 5 more shots left to make, and they're going to be the best 5 shots of my life.
She's clearly got the crowd on her side. That's for sure.
Come on, who doesn't want to see a school teacher win $100,000 here, and she's a hometown girl?
I know I do. There it is. There it is.
Back to back.
There it is. Okay.
Students cheering her on.
Now, if there was a little bit of pressure, if there was any pressure in this match, I think this is the moment where Anthony's looking at it, and let's see how he responds to it.
Listen, bowling is a funny game. You can execute a perfect delivery and leave that dreaded 7-10 split.
Especially when Jason Belmonte puts the announcer curse on you.
It was pretty close.
I'm really not intending it. This is not intentional.
You know something I don't know? Wait a minute.
So you're going to see that 5-pin just
right
takes
across the
out
face.
the 7-pin.
Yes.
Their messenger not quite coming across to take the 10. But coming out of commercial, it's the hardest 2 shots to throw, and Amy was able to step up, make them. Anthony hit in the pocket there, doing his job. The pin's not quite falling over, but again, it's now going to come down to the last few frames. Anthony needs to do what he knows how to do it. Sorry, he needs to do the way that he knows how to do it, and that's been aggressive, hitting his target, seeing that ball drive to the pin, sending them all back into the pit.
There it is.
Hard to believe, guys, he's 22, but he's been on the pro circuit for 5 years.
Unbelievable.
There was a wonderful documentary done on Anthony recently on a subscribed network called Flow Bowling, a big supporter of the PBA Tour, Flow Bowling, and this documentary illustrated the hardship Anthony has had in his life, leaving school at a very early age, in his early teens, having a rough home upbringing, literally having $6 to his name not that long ago, decided to go pro, make his way into it, and here he is, bowling for $100,000, winning major championships, has really given himself a chance to live life.
And Amy just off to the side there, so she's got to, I heard her say, just too far right.
Yeah. That right lane is just not moving the same way that left lane is.
As a bowler, Jerome, you know, don't you? As soon as it leaves your hand, I mean, is it?
Absolutely, you do know. And especially when you know you're having some troubles with the particular lane, you know, maybe I need to move inside a little bit. And once you let it go, you know, you left it out there.
Oh, she beautifully picks up that spare.
That was a great pickup.
That's textbook, huh, Jason?
Yeah, an inch either side, and she misses it, so she's nailed the spare.
Amy's parents looking on. Christine and Joe, very proud of their daughter.
As they should be.
Yeah. Already's got guaranteed 65 grand, looking for 100.
So max scores here, 223 for Amy, 259 for Anthony.
Oh, there it is.
I'll tell you what, she has worked out all the demons on that left-hand side.
And she's not going away. No. She's saying, hey, you know what? I'm not bowling my best, but I'm not going away. I'm going to give myself a chance.
Yeah, mathematically, she's still in this. But right now, Anthony has a chance to mathematically make it nearly impossible to lose.
Okay. What are you expecting here?
I think a strike. I really do.
Wow. He's calling it out.
Bound to get it right once every now and then.
I don't know if you're Nostradamus or you're just crazy like a fox, but you... the two-handed Aussie assassin is bringing his game tonight with the tie and now the comments.
I know. The tie hurt, but the vest is killing me. It's killing me. I should have got the memo. Man.
This one right here to all but clinch it.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
Who cares about oil patterns? That ball, he's striking no matter what they got out there.
That's the kind of delivery that's going to knock over 20 pins.
Yep.
You watch the way that that ball goes through the pins, the driving angle. There was no chance anything was standing, which now puts Amy in a very tough predicament. She's going to need to strike out, and then she's going to need a Hail Mary in the 10th. She needs Anthony to throw it out the window, get a low count, and an open frame. But it must start with a strike right here.
That's the task.
There it is.
Got your stinking pressure.
Now, handles it. If I could whisper in Amy's ear right now, this would be a incredibly long 10th frame. I would make Anthony sit there for as long as possible.
Play some games, psychological games?
I would be doing re-racking. I would be like things in my eye. I'd be doing everything I could right now to make him sit there and think about it. But the most important thing, all of that wouldn't matter if I didn't execute my delivery to get the strike. So right now, Amy has to throw the best 10th frame of her career.
So strike to stay alive for Amy Brim.
Oh, she puts it in the pocket. Wow.
Plus, you saw that halfway down the lane.
You can see it. You know, the certain lanes, they're responding to a little bit differently, and she put it right in the correct spot.
There we go. 1 of 3.
That's right.
Take your time, reset.
So I'm looking forward to see Jason out there competing and see him kind of stalling out his competitor. I'm going to be looking.
You're going to be watching that from now on.
Oh, I'll be looking for that. Another good one.
This is the kind of start she probably wishes she'd had.
And you know what?
1 and 3.
This is a moment that she will never forget for the rest of her life.
Listen, if you had have said to her, you will make one of the best bowlers in the world need to step up and execute a good delivery in the 10th frame, she would have said, no way that's going to happen. But here we are, 10th frame. Amy, execute.
She do it.
Oh, man, that time.
Outstanding performance.
Yep.
Outstanding performance.
Just ran out of steam there, leaving 3 pins up.
That's enough to win right there. Boom.
There it is.
$100,000 strike, thrown perfectly. And that, my friend, is the big difference between an amateur and a professional, is his execution was identical. Whether it was for $100,000 or whether it was for $0, he's executed exactly the same.
Yeah, had it on lock tonight. Anthony Simonson.
A little high there. Still
looking very good.
Yes, it is.
So he has clinched the Bowlero Elite Series title for North Brunswick. Yeah.
Amy has impressed not just us here in the building. Everyone at home watching right now is going to be remembering the name of the high school history teacher that pushed one of the best players in the world to the 10th frame.
And her students, they should be very proud of their teacher. She did an amazing job.
Amy Brim from Hamilton, New Jersey comes up just short against one of the best in the business as Anthony Simonson gets it done with a 259. Amy Brim checking in with the 220.
Look forward to being back.
Anthony Simonson from Texas comes to New Jersey and throws a 259 in the championship to claim $100,000 in the Bowlero Elite Series. Once again, Anthony Simonson from Texas comes to New Jersey and gets the victory and the $100,000 payout in the Bowlero Elite Series, getting past amateur Amy Brim. Layla is standing by with the champion.
Todd, thank you. I am joined by Coley Edison, the president of the Bowlero Elite Series, here to present our champion, Anthony Simonson, with his $100,000 grand prize. Coley.
Anthony, you did amazing today. This couldn't go to a better person. Congratulations.
Not a bad way to end a day at the bowling alley. And now it's time for our trophy as well.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Anthony, that was a momentum-filled match going head-to-head with Amy. What was it like when you went down to that 10th frame?
You know, it almost seems like when you need the least amount of pins is when it gets the most difficult. You know, just got up, tried to make normal routine. I was fortunate enough she bowled a great game. Bowled great all week. Just fortunate enough to come away with the win.
You've been at this bowling game a long time, in some way, shape, or form, since you were 3, professional, since you were a freshman in high school. You describe this event as unique. You've described yourself as unique. So how would you describe this win?
Honestly, I'm kind of speechless at the moment. You know, there were a couple times in earlier matches it didn't look like I was going to be bowling it right now. So a couple breaks have gone my way, and I'm fortunate enough to capitalize on that.
Well, congratulations for being the first professional to take home the championship at the Bowlero Elite Series. Anthony, thank you.
Thank you.
Todd.
Thank you, Layla. Anthony Simonson, what a performance, and congratulations to Amy Brim making it to the big final and collecting that $65,000. What a night of bowling. Congratulations once again to all our bowlers, as Anthony Simonson has captured the second Bowlero Elite Series titles. We'll be back in December for our final event of 2019. For Layla Rahimi, Jerome Bettis, and Jason Belmonte, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Bowlero, North Brunswick.